Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. My favorite. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 57. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions and gave us 3 leaks that I will break down during the stream. Let's not waste any time. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. Here we go. Right now. So let's start off with leak number 1. Mike, what do you got for us?
Got a little teasy boy for you.
Ooh.
So here is a early game Sentinel armor set coming out. I think this is like the I think this is like the first set after your starting gear, or the second set after your starting gear, of like tiers of how far into the game it is. So it's a little bit, it's a little more subdued, but it's really cool, I think. So here's a Sentinel armor set.
These types of visuals, if they can get it from the beginning to end, will make a huge difference. Tier 2 Sentinel armor set. Like instead of the plates, you got a little more of the leather.
Remember to drink water. It's important.
Good tip. Coffee.
Oh, yeah.
It's now time to let Mike ramble for a little bit, and that's okay. Anytime he starts drawing, I feel like I have to put it in this video. Bear with him. He's doing his best.
How do you feel about how dungeon layouts are generated? Yeah, okay, this is a different question. Sorry, I missed this one. Particularly with the amount of dead ends in Soulfire Bastion, when its design encourages being cleared fully. Other dungeons also generate with sometimes high levels of backtracking, which can be quite frustrating. Yeah, this is not uncommon feedback. I don't have a solution for you yet. We're always working on stuff like this, though. That's all I can say right now.
Give him a second.
Perfect.
He's gonna break it down for us. Okay.
I think that's the worst part about dungeons right now is the randomization systems we have in there are like I don't know the term to use for it, but it's a similar effect that you get in the Uncanny Valley. So like for anyone who doesn't know, the Uncanny Valley is a reference for realism and comfort and how good something is, basically. This is the Uncanny Valley here. This is how realistic, or how good it feels to look at something that's like artificially generated. So like you get like and it probably, I don't know, but the left side may actually start higher and it may drop off. I can't remember exactly what it is, but basically there's this thing that happens where when something gets close to being really good, but it's not quite there, the quality just like plummets, even though it's like getting better and better as we go. And the same sort of thing kind of happens with I think dungeon generation and layout, whereby like no randomization sucks because you start to, when it's something that's meant to be done over and over and over again, you learn it quite quickly and it becomes trivialized because you're just like, okay, I go left here, I go right here, yada yada yada. And that's really good for specific things, but I think in an RPG that's not ideal.
That's fair. For this next question, Mike gets called out that most ARPGs have some form of socketing system. Are sockets coming to LE? Mike, go.
Kind of hit the nail on the head. So I'm going to describe the Diablo 2 socket system.
Drinks his water.
You have specific items that their primary use, we're ignoring crafted items in Diablo 2 for a second, so where you put like a rune, a gem, a magic item, and a jewel in, and it crafts an item specific, and there's like a recipe and everything. Ignoring that for a second, you have these items, gems, and their primary property is to be socketed into items to provide a specific set stat to that item. Once it's been put in, the item has that stat it can be modified and removed with certain other crafting systems, but for a basic, super simplified version, it's a permanent thing that gets added to the item. So it's a permanent upgrade by socketing one item into another, combining the two effectively. So using a single crafted stat item to add it to another item, and there's a set number of those slots that you can put items in. So you can get 4 socket items and put 4 stats in it. This sounds mighty familiar to some other system I'm looking at here, huh?
I see where you're going with this, huh?
And so I know it's not exactly the same, but
it isn't.
There's a ton of similarities to it. And every time we've sort of come up with socketing systems that are relatively normal, so like similar to Diablo 2's, items have stats, you put them in your other items that give new stats to that item. That style of socket system, which is probably the most common. PoE's is very different. It's really difficult to justify the socketing system when you have a crafting system like ours. We definitely have a few ideas for socketing-esque things and how that could work, because socket systems have a really wonderful property that's intrinsic to them, where you are collecting, and it's a little different, and this is the main difference between socket systems generally and our crafting system, is that the primary things you're socketing into them are bigger ticket individual items that can be rare and worthwhile on their own. So you can get there's almost 0 shards that you'd ever be like, oh my god, yay, I found a burr shard, or oh, I found a Zod shard. Like, who cares? There's no shards that are that important or that rare. And we do try and get a little bit of that feeling with the rare glyphs and runes for having those like crafting rare infrequent drops. Little off topic here, but what I'm kind of getting at is having a separate system that one of the things that crafting systems like that do really well is you have split drops. So this is one thing that runewords do so well, is you're trying to make an enigma, and you have these 3 really difficult pieces to get. I'm talking about the armor base, not the Ethereum in the middle. So you have jaw, burr, and the item base. And I say the item base because you're spending so many high level other things, you're probably going to take some time to find a really nice base to put it in. And you can find each one of these 3 pieces individually, and they all hold value for other things as well. You could put a dragon rune word in your armor instead. I think that's 3. You could put is that shield weapon only? There's other 3 socket rune words you could use. There's not very many. But you could use that armor for something else. You could use that jaw rune for a last wish. You could use that burr rune for a infinity. I'm really hoping I'm right with all these references. I could be wrong. And so they all have value on their own for other things, and you collect them piece by piece. And so you're excited when you get one of these super rare pieces to the puzzle that you're going to eventually make something awesome with. And that interaction is a really important part of what makes classical socketing systems so good, so awesome, is that you're not necessarily finding the item all at once. You're finding pieces to it that you know are going to go towards building this awesome item later. And so in a sense, talking about a socketing system in that sense, we've definitely thought of a few things like that and plan to do for that. And
I'm going to stop you right there. You like a socketing system like that, and you plan to implement it? That's why I let you ramble. I like it. Leak number 2.
Cool stuff to show. I got so much cool stuff. I just keep forgetting. I'm having fun. It's the problem with this. I have fun and I get distracted. Here is a mid-tier Acolyte armor set.
Ooh.
Pretty cool.
That
cool.
Would match very nicely with my new unique, my summon bone golem. Yes.
Feels good. Yeah.
I like that.
I really love having like we get these like custom made models now, and even the ones that aren't like super high end ones. It's really just going to bring a lot to the leveling experience and just having the game feel fun and feel
complete,
alive and real and interesting. And
all right, everyone, we have come to the final leak of this video. Some other stuff I planned on sharing because he gets asked every single week and I get asked almost every single day, but I'm just going to talk about it right now. Multiplayer is coming after September, likely October, November, but there's no official date. That will be part of the 0.9.0 update. On top of that, trading is very likely not coming with that update. Also, the Rune Master, Warlock, and Falconeer, there's no date on it yet, but we know we will get them before 1.0. On top of that, Mike did touch on a little bit that they are working on keys. Right now, keys are terrible. You literally have to store them in your stash tab one at a time. So they are working on a process that you could store them efficiently, okay? That was all gonna be in this video, but then it would be crazy long. I could just answer it all as simply as that. Last leak of the stream. I'm gonna allow you to take it away, Mike. Don't forget to subscribe if you think I deserve it. Hit that little red button, and don't forget to check out my Patreon. Mike, show him something nasty.
boom. This is a void corrupted citizen. It's showing like you can see the sort of what's going on inside there as well. Oh, in the future, do you want to do expansions or seasons? Seasons? We're calling them cycles, but seasons. Remember to drink lots of water. I know I keep saying it, but I haven't been doing it enough lately. And I've noticed, like, I just don't feel as good. I don't drink enough water. Just tuned in. Game is great. Thank you very much. Not sure if it's been asked. Probably has started this question to say like this. But is there a time frame when you guys hope to have multiplayer? We don't have any dates. I can give you a little bit of information. That will be like, well, when's that gonna happen? The answer is we don't know yet. So multiplayer will be out with the patch 0.9.0, which will be our next major release patch. On Monday, we're starting our onboarding process for our community tester program new intake, which is our sort of like, I guess, alpha branch where people come in and they test things that are really early and they're very janky, and we do not promise to present a product that's even remotely viable to sell. But they know that going in. And so we've opened up applications to that for the first time in a long time, and we're doing our first intake starting on Monday, and we're going to do more after that. So if you don't hear anything on Monday, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. You might still get in. It's not a big deal.